his next point about the end of times, the times right before Mashiach, and even the times that he's living in. In Sefer Bereshit, the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 17. In that section, it's when Yaakov is about to meet Esav. Yaakov being symbolic of Am Yisrael, Esav being symbolic of Edom, the Christians. Christians, Catholics are both Edom. Now, some of these Christians and Catholics will ultimately convert and become righteous Jews. Some of them will be the biggest enemies that the Jews have ever had, even worse than Hitler. Even worse than Hitler. Some of them are openly enemies of Israel today. Some of them are openly friends of Israel today. But during this symbolic meeting, Rabbi Elchanan Wasson quotes the verse that says, and put a space between drove and drove. V'revach tasimu ben eder la'eder. And he says, in the galut period, in the exile, a breathing space will be given between each fresh evil decree. In the days before the coming of the Mashiach, the sufferings will not halt, but will flow like a river. The last 2,000 years, we've had trauma after trauma that you could hear about, learn about, whether it's the destruction of the first Bet HaMikdash, the second Bet HaMikdash, the Spanish Inquisitions, the pogroms, the blood libels where the Goyim would say that we murdered their kids to drink their blood. Even the Gemara has stories with the Goyim blaming the Jews for murdering their kids just to drink their blood. This is even existent in today's world. There's some famous cases throughout the last couple of hundred years of how the Goyim actually chose a Jew that was a honorable soldier and said that no, he killed this person because he's a Jew, even though he wasn't religious, because he drinks blood on Pesach. They thought that our matzot are made out of blood, people's blood. We had the English, the British, torture us in about 900 years ago, massacre thousands of people, the Spanish Inquisitions, the Turks, the Spaniards, the Nazis, constantly. But the truth is, Rabotai, is that throughout all of that, he's saying that this is considered the exile, not the Messianic period. In this exile, what you'll notice is that this exile is going to be different from the time of Mashiach. How is it different? Despite the agony and pain that we'll go through, it's only going to be once in a while. So in between, the biggest disaster that ever happened to Am Yisrael, which is the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash, and let's say the Spanish Inquisition, talking about a lot of time passed. Hundreds and hundreds of years passed. Yes, of course, there were some other things in between, but nothing as big as the Bet HaMikdash. The only thing you could compare to what happened at the time of the Bet HaMikdash is the Holocaust. And even the Holocaust is not as bad as what happened at the Bet HaMikdash. For anyone that reads the Midrashim and what actually happened during the time of the Bet HaMikdash, much, much worse than the Holocaust. Needless to say, this is horrible, this is horrible. It's not a competition of how could it get worse. But the point is that in between 2,000 years ago and today, you had our nation look more like one of these blue chip stocks, where it has high highs and low lows over periods of time. Everything goes good, they invent new things, everybody wants to buy them for their kids too, on their 401k, for the college plans, they want to own it forever. All of a sudden something happens, you find out they're cooking the books, stock plummets 90% in a day. And then people buy again, and little by little, it goes back up, and it goes back up, and then again, something else happened, the CEO stole some money, stock's down 90%. That's been Am Yisrael for the last 2,000 years. L'avdil. But that's in essence what it's been. I have to compare it to things that I know. That's what actually happened with Am Yisrael. You see that before the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, we were doing great. We were rich, we were successful, we were religious, everything was going good. Then we stopped being religious. Then we stopped caring about Hashem. We started caring more about the opinions of the Goyim, the opinions of society. And after a while, Hashem had it with us, and we plummeted 99%. And then we retracted again, and went back, and started building again, and started doing tshuva again, and then you had the generation of the Talmud. And everything was going great. And then again, another disaster. And then we built again. And we spread around all over the place. And we built again smaller communities. It wasn't a big center like it was at the time of the Beit HaMikdash, but different small communities all over the world. Build, collapse. Build, collapse. And so on and so on. I just continued over and over again. Until today. Today, the Jews are the richest they have been since the time of Shlomo HaMelech, financially. Religiously, on the other hand, not exactly. Not exactly. Religiously, we are more similar to how we were before the Holocaust. Religiously. Because intermarriage is very high, immorality is very high, dishonesty, unfortunately, in some places, in some areas, in some people, extremely high. And all of this is not what Hashem wants. Now, what Rav Elchanan Wasserman is saying now is that one major noticeable difference will happen to be a clear sign that we are indeed in the time of Mashiach and not just a continuation of the exile that we've been in for the last 2,000 years. And that is those long breaks between the Holocausts, those long breaks between the Inquisitions will be no more. Meaning, it will be one continuous nightmare. It won't stop this time. Meaning that if we are indeed in the last stages of Mashiach now, like many believe, this coronavirus, it's not going away. Like, yeah, the virus may find a cure, they might make you into a robot, who knows? That'll make a difference. But the paranoia that everybody has, the nightmare that people have, not physically, mentally, just dealing with society as it is right now, it's not going away.
B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach, we're very excited to offer you the new Bezrat Hashem app 3.0. It's a newer, faster app, full of Torah, lots of Kedusha by the shiurim that we do, myself, Rav Ephraim, Rav Chaim, where you'll have also newer features where you're able to use the app while you're using other applications on your phone. You'll be able to share the lectures directly from the app. You'll be able to donate online and support our Kiruv and our Torah work that we're doing. And the most exciting feature is that you'll be able to actually ask questions directly on the app and get answers from the rabbis directly from the app. This is something unprecedented, and Baruch Hashem will be able to offer it. Thank you again for all of your support. Check it out. Make sure you have the kosher Torah that will re-energize your neshama each and every single day. Call to B'chava Tzlacha.